Morning, David. Thanks for your time. Probably only one place to start, really, and that's an Ashley Barnes update if we can. He had the scans, I presume, since Wednesday night.
Yeah, so he has medial ligament knee injury, does not need a surgery, but we will miss him for a few weeks. I think after the November international break is realistic that he is back for contention for the squad.
But just to clarify, no surgery, it would
Nope.
appear. Yeah. I mean, it goes without saying. I mean, you're an experienced coach. You've been in the game long enough. But are you wondering what you've done now? You know, first Josh and now Ashley, two key strikers.
Yeah, listen. Do I like it? Obviously not. It's anything but nice, but part of the game to now miss our two strikers, which started a lot of games at the beginning of the season for the next couple of months or even more. But it is how it is. I think we have a squad together where I have a lot of trust and believe in. Adam made big steps in the last weeks, and he hopefully can keep progressing and performing and scoring goals. And obviously Uju, who still learn the names, we signed him after Josh's injury to back us up in this area. And now obviously he has to support and help maybe a little bit earlier than we thought because of Ashley's injury. But everything what I've seen so far, his touches, his movements, it's very, his finishes are very, very interesting, and we have to work with him that he gets more known about how we like to play for sure, on his fitness as well. But we have players who can back this area with Liam, who played there last night. Nacho played there in this position as well. But it is nice, no question. So we will deal with the situation. We will move on. We wish them all the best, both of them, that they come back as quick as possible and obviously as strong as possible as well. And then there is still a lot of games to go when they are back. And as we all together know, normally all the teams over a season will have problems like this.
Yeah, no, I was going, obviously in light of it likely to be that situation with Ashley, I was going to ask you about Adam and Liam, and you've touched on a few of the topics there. But just to round off the fitness aspect, mentioned Josh, as he had the stitches out, you said that would possibly happen this week.
Yeah, he got them out. Everything is perfect so far. First step done, and now obviously his rehab starts.
And with Nacho, still in the boots, he said maybe 10 to 14 days.
Yeah, the boots come off beginning of next week, and then we have to see. I think before the October international break, it's quite tight. After the international break, for sure. Maybe earlier. We have to wait when the boot is off, how he looks like.
And in terms of the Wednesday night, the guys you featured there, no issues there coming out of that game, aside from Ashley, obviously. Fitness.
No, all good. Obviously, it was only 2 days ago. Plymouth had a day more where they were able to rest. This means a lot in this very busy period, but we have shown in the past that we can deal with this very busy period, which we have. Anyone else is fit, healthy, and now we have to make sure that they recover as good as they can and that they are in the best possible shape for tomorrow.
One guy who wasn't involved midweek in terms of Leicester, but did play 45 for the development team here Tuesday night, Borja Science, just how he came through that, and I'm assuming you were at the game, just your thoughts on what you saw, and then moving forward, how do you see now the pace of him being integrated into first team squads?
No, this was another step on his, let's call it pre-season, because obviously this is now his pre-season. Now he is in the second week of the pre-season, played his first 45 minutes. Will play tonight another 45 minutes against Everton. I have him in the head for minutes against Fulham as well. So our clear aim and our clear idea was to give him this week till the October international break as his, let's say, own pre-season with game time in the under 21, and for us as well, if possible, to develop the game time from 45 to 60, 75, maybe 90 minutes as well, and then at the latest after the international break in October, he is in full contention for everything what's coming then after the international break. I think this is how we have to deal with him, quite sensible, but everything what I've seen so far from him in training and as well in the under-21 game in the first 45 minutes, he is very energetic, he's desperate, as you can see. Obviously, in the under-21, they play a little bit different, not used to every player. Some of the runs which he made right, he didn't get the ball. Some of the runs which he has to do, he hasn't done. But all good. He works hard. He's desperate. He is in shape as well. First 2 weeks were great of his preseason. Hopefully he comes through healthy today, and then we will progress him like we said.
Okay, and Lungi as well. He's back in training. Where are we thinking with him? I mean, Fulham too soon for him potentially.
Yeah, I think so. He still has to catch up a lot of things. Obviously, he is not symptoms and pain free. Even if he trains, we have to be very careful with him. I think he will need some further weeks as well to be really in contention for us.
Moving on from the fitness element, and we now know the situation. You've mapped it out again today. You know, no Ashley potentially till sort of November break onwards. Josh, at best, sounds like Christmas, maybe early January. So as you've said there, Adam Eder and Hwang, they need to step up. Now with Adam, you rate him clearly. You speak about what talent he is and the elements in his game that could be really impressive at this level. But with Adam also, I mean, he's been very honest. He spoke to me in the past about maybe the confidence, his lack of self-belief on occasion, and that he needs to work on that aspect. So now, clearly, you need to rely on him and Hwang. Is that something you have to just reinforce the messaging that we believe in you, we trust you, go and show us what a good player you are now?
To be totally honest, I think he knows this. I think, and you've seen the step in his confidence and his performances in the last games as well. I think he made an impact on Wednesday when he came on, as he has done for Ireland when he scored against the Netherlands, and in the games which he played for us as well, where he made an impact with goals and assists as well. So I think he made big steps in the last 6-7 weeks or since the start of the season, and he only should continue doing what he has done, progress the journey which he started. Don't overthink. He's a talent. He has qualities and he knows it, and he only have to make sure that he is from the mindset and from the willingness to work hard for the team in the defense periods, where he was very strong on Wednesday to take the physical challenges on board as well, because he's a big guy, and then he will make his steps. He will be and is important for us, so I don't like to put too much pressure on him. I think he should now enjoy the moments which are ahead of him, and work hard what he does on the pitch, especially with Christoph, who works a lot with our strikers, and continue what he has done, and then hopefully he will make the further steps which we expect from him.
In terms of the aspect of his game, you wouldn't say he's a like for like in terms of what Josh does when he's on the pitch, or even Ashley. Now they're slightly different strikers. What would you need to, moving into this period now, when you know you're going to be without those two for a prolonged period? If you and the coaches, you have to sit down and think of maybe in terms of how you build the play up in that attacking third of the pitch, because maybe Adam gives you certain things that Josh wouldn't do, or Ashley wouldn't do, or Hwang, or do you just continue on the same path and try and minimise the disruption almost in that aspect?
No, we stick to our idea how we like to approach the games in our play out, in our build up, and how we like to defend as well. This will not change because of the injury of two key players. I think this is exactly what the team does and did very well, where everyone knows what to do in certain situations, and this is one of the super strengths of this team. They know exactly what they have to do when they are on the pitch, and this doesn't mean They have to start or they come on. Everybody knows exactly what to do in the different periods of the game, and this, I think, strength we should keep. And now it's only different names, different faces try to execute this approach as good as they can, and they will do. And at the end of the day, a lot of things will be decided by the right mindset and the right desire and passion to do what we like to do.
And as you say, I mean, it's inevitable. People outside certainly will look at Adam and look at Hwang now, but you've already touched on it, Liam Gibbs. There's also a knock-on maybe impact now without Josh and Ashley in terms of that link player, the 10, if you want to use that term. I mean, you tried him there in a more advanced position on Wednesday night. Does he almost, I mean, as much as it's about Adam and Hwang maybe need to step forward now and accept a bit more of that responsibility, players like Liam Gibbs potentially could have an opportunity now in that equation?
Yeah, like Nacho has. Again, as I said, do I like and love the situation? No. Am I concerned about it? No. So we have, as I said, Adam Uiju, Liam can play there as Nacho can do. Gabi can push one forward because Forshi is now ready to go as well. So it is not perfect, because perfect is if you have all the players available. But we will deal with it, and we have options who will deal with this situation as well, and they will try their best, and we will push forward and move forward as well. So not a concern, but nothing what I like. And then obviously it's up to the guys to show what they are capable of if they get asked as a starter or as a substitution. And they have done so great so far. So come on, go on, continue and try your best like you've done in the past.
Just closing down Leicester, was it how you felt on the night? First half probably contributed a little bit, and you talked about giving them too many dangerous spaces to play in. Second half, completely different kettle of fish, and your side were very unfortunate maybe to walk off that pitch and not get something out of that game. Is that how you felt when you sort of debriefed it with a bit more considered time to look at the tapes and so on?
Yeah, I think this was exactly the case. First half they were better, second half we were the better side. What stays out for me after I've seen the game back is how energetic and how aggressive we were, how we really closed down the spaces, because let's be honest, they are top side, top individuals, and they don't need a lot of space to hurt you, and we gave them very little, and in the tight spaces then we fought quite well. And this is exactly how it should be against the technical side, against a side which likes to play football. As I said, unfortunately, we didn't get a point or even more out of this game, but we got beaten by quality, and we left this game quite quick behind us because we know we've done a lot of things right, but we didn't get the 3 points or the points which were on the table. And since yesterday, we look forward to Plymouth on Saturday. Difficult game, very difficult game, especially at home. They have a good home record, play some very good football for a promotion team, totally different approach. They have a lot of freedom, a lot of fluidity. They play with happiness, especially offensively, obviously defensively. Then they give some spaces as well, but this is a real challenge, a real test for us. After Wednesday night, and we have to make ourselves ready to go again, and we will. And then obviously we are really looking forward to this game, because there are 3 points on the table which are as important as the points on Wednesday and count as much as the points on Wednesday, and for these points we will fight like hell on Saturday.
So I mean, it would sound like that, because you look at the results aspect of them, and it's 1 win in 6 and heavy defeat at Bristol, but the underlying, you can see this is a team, and as they showed in League One, very, very cohesive, clear style of play, as you say there. And maybe it's that newly promoted thing where you go up and it could go one or two ways. You run on with the momentum and the results follow, and it feels like the wind's at your back. Maybe they're experiencing the opposite in the early part of this season.
So who judged them on the Bristol result makes them the first mistake. To be totally honest, the Bristol game and the Bristol result we didn't look on. We didn't analyze the Bristol game. They made 7 changes, was away from home, doesn't count for us. So we take this very, very serious, and we've seen and we learned our lesson from Rotherham away. We said, and the guys have shown then in the games after the international break, and we said this, we have to show that we are better than this, what we have done. And this is now a real test. I don't like to compare these teams, Rotherham and Plymouth, because they have a totally different approach. What you can compare is both teams, especially at home, in their stadium, they can create a very, very tricky atmosphere where you have to keep your head down, be very calm in ball possession, and be ready for the fight. And this is where I will prepare my guys for, and then we have to show that we learned our lessons out of the Rotherham game, that we are totally focused and are ready for the fight.
Yeah, and just on a final one, it's interesting you do draw that comparative, not in terms of style of play, but in terms of the challenge and the environment you're going into. You could probably throw Huddersfield in there as well, as you know better than anybody. That's a very tough place. You made it look easy because you applied yourselves in the perfect way on that day, but these type of games, it is that, isn't it? It's almost a mentality thing, isn't it? And you have to deal with, particularly at home, teams who are going to be very strong. And if you match them in those areas, then you hope maybe the quality you've got in the squad can come through and make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Huddersfield. It helps if you are clinical. It helps if you don't give them a breather. It helps if you don't give them energy, because they win some battles or they are successful. If this is the case, it makes it even more difficult, and this is exactly what we have to do, and what our aim is from the first second. Be ready, show our strength, make sure that we play to our strength as well, and we said this more often, that it's about us, and this is for sure the case tomorrow. We have to be on our best. We have to focus on us and make sure that we play to our strength. And then I think we have everything to be successful. But with every respect, which you have to give Plymouth, which we will do, we like to do and play our style and be successful.
Thanks, David. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paddy. Thank you.